All right, welcome back. This is part 2. This is the dash pad removal and restore. This is more the restore process. Here's the metal lower portion of the dash where the steering wheel was. I had some paint that had come off over the years. Certainly not under my ownership, but whoever else had it. There's the dash pad. That's what we're going to be restoring. And I went for a more rustic look on my restore. You could also choose to have it professionally done, but that's not the point of this video, so stay tuned. All right, let's get into it. All right, so initially when I was removing these, I started with a smaller set of needle nose pliers. I recommend a heavier one because it's difficult to get the leverage you need to remove them. So eventually they did all come out. One thing I did to help also is where the stereo is. I had to remove that piece because there's one right underneath it. Now you are going to want to pack your patience because it is time consuming. I was able to get them out, but it does take some effort. Now in the GoWesty video, they had screws. On mine, I get the awesomeness of having rivets. Yes, rivets. I had to remove 8 rivets and wasn't easy. Googled how to remove rivets, had no idea how to do this, but it actually all worked out. Wasn't as horrible, but it's time consuming. You never know until you start taking your Vanagon apart what's underneath it. So glad I did though, because I was able to clean up a bunch of stuff. But here's kind of a close-up. So used a flathead screwdriver with a hammer and it just sheared off. So it takes a little bit of effort, but you're able to remove all the rivets just by hammering them off. Loosen this thing. I do recommend having a Chihuahua on standby to assist.
There we go. Woohoo! Is it recording? Yes.
Look at all the debris, and I swear I don't know if this car was parked out in the forest for 10 years, but it feels like it at times. So if you're into deep cleaning, this is definitely something you're going to want to do. Depending on the condition of your Vanagon. And I'd say anything 40 years old behind the dashboard area, it's gonna be dusty. It's really well made though, even for the age of this thing. It's heavy, it's made from, I believe, fiberglass material of some kind. And here's a top view so you can see what was underneath it. Again, a lot of dust. They had spilled various drinks. There's Timothy, I think Tim was a registered owner of this vehicle. So, all right, so definitely want to give this thing a deep clean since you've gone through all that effort and energy. All right, here's the dash pad filler that I used. I got this on Amazon. I'll put a link. You can see the severe cracking and dryness of my dash pad, and so this stuff actually does work fairly well. I do recommend if you're looking for a smoother application or final product of your dash pad, use a metal putty knife. So here on the instructions they say use a golf ball size amount and 2 inches of the tube product. So that's what I ended up doing here. Speed up the video, blah blah blah, mix it together, and that is the blue stuff is like a hardening chemical that then lets in like 15-20 minutes the product, the filler actually dries up, and apply it across your dash. If you're again looking for a smooth surface for the entire thing, you're going to need to do the entire dash pad so it has a consistency to it, and then you end up sanding it down. So I'll speed this up. When you get into the sanding, make sure you use a high quality respirator. I'm wearing one, you can see it in the reflection there. And the gloves, you probably should also wear the gloves. I took them off, but to each his own. If you're looking for a smoother finish, it's going to take a lot of time because you really have to smooth that down. Every imperfection shows with paint. That's why I went with kind of a more rustic look. All right, next I went with a vinyl wrap. This attempt failed, and you'll see there's a hump on the other side, and even with the heat gun and carefully trying to convince it to wrap nicely over that. It just doesn't work. So maybe somebody else had better luck. I'd be real curious to see how that went. Let me know. But instead, I went with spray paint. Yes, but not just any spray paint. There's a particular spray paint that is for interiors, and it actually flexes, supposedly. And so far, so good. It's been probably about 3 weeks since I've done this, and it's still lasting quite well. So, and here's a close-up of the spray paint itself. Vinyl and fabric, flexible drying or finish, and then with a flat black. All right, so we'll speed up the painting process. I ended up putting on around 4 coats. The lighting was horrible, and it was raining outside. Not the best environment, but it held very well. And I did use the heat gun also to kind of give it an extra strength to the drying, I hope. So far, it's holding on really well. There you can kind of see the earthiness of it. So this is good. It doesn't need to be perfect. You'd have to go traveling back in time to make this thing perfect, and I don't want to spend that kind of money, and I want everything still to look somewhat aged. So yeah, I'm happy so far. Now let's reassemble. I also want to give you a more realistic view of that, because in the videos they would just show you how quick and easy it is. This part actually was fairly easy, I'll give them that. Those little bolts went on well. The one thing I ran into a problem with, and I'm removing them here, these are the rivets that I had, and they're still jammed in there. So if you're trying to put another screw in there, it's extremely difficult. I tried drilling into them, and they're extremely difficult to drill out. So I had to take each one out and kind of hammer it out. Then I re-glued those using a real strong super glue, and they seem to hold on very well, no issues. But that's kind of the reality. It's a little bit more challenging than what they show on the videos. And voila, here's the final product reinstalled on the metal dash. I think it turned out really well for what I was going for. I'm sure there will be all kinds of fun comments, so I can't wait. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. I just wanted to bring a little reality into what's really involved in doing all this stuff. I hope it helps you. And then I've definitely learned a lot. Stay tuned. There's going to be some other videos. I'm going to be replacing the starter of my Vanagon with a Go Westy one. So I've got that coming up. I've got the liquid propane tank, which also will be removed and replaced. And then from there, I've got, hopefully we're going to get here in the next couple of months. I've got some van life stuff as well. I'm going to do some dry runs, see how that goes. Going to be cooking in the van, living in the van, all kinds of interesting things coming up. So remember to subscribe. Take care. Have a great week, and we'll talk to you guys later. Bye.